Hi, I am Andraine Harding, and today I will be presenting to you a project based on Native Americans and Progressivism. I will be going in depth into the topic, the impact of the 1928 Meriam Report, Native Americans before 1492. It is important for us to understand that before the Europeans came, Native Americans had already had in place an educational system that was both informal and formal. Now, this education system was led by the tribal leader. The tribal leader ensured that all the members in the tribe were educated on ways, politically, culturally, ways to carry on the culture of the society. They knew that it was important for the younger ones to know how important it was to take on the roles of what they had as adults and move forward to make sure that the tradition did not die. The colonial period. Europeans believed that the Native Americans needed to be Christianized and civilized. Europeans believed then that this was the only way for the native population to continue and strive. They wanted the natives to be just like them. All the traditions that they had, politically, social, cultural traditions, they wanted the natives to take it on. So the missionaries tried to convince the native to send their children for them to educate them, as they told the Indians that this was the only way to prepare their children for what's to come. However, the natives did not believe in this, and so few children were sent. Few children went to these boarding schools, and so it wasn't that successful. The Meriam Report. In 1928, an independent investigation was launched geared towards discovering what was really taking place in the board houses where these Native American children were placed. It was discovered that they had endured harsh living conditions, both the children and the adults who were on these reservations. They were poorly fed, they became sick, many of them died. The teachers who were supposed to teach these children were underpaid. And so it was discovered that these children were not treated the way the missionaries and the Europeans had said that they would have been treated. After the information that was gathered from the Meriam Report was shared to the public, the government decided that going forward they would make a change. They decided that the living conditions and the learning conditions of these native children would be different. John Collier. John Collier was a philosopher who believed that the Native Americans needed to preserve their own culture. He believed that they needed to retain their land and farm on it as they did before, live on it as they did before, and pass on the culture that they have passed on for years gone by. John Collier wrote lengthy articles to the New York Times. He believed that, again, the natives were unjustly treated. He believed that because the natives' lands were taken away, the white ownership and how education policies had tried to replace Indian self-consciousness were taking away the values of the Native Americans. He believed that we failed to prepare the natives to enter into civilization, and that the Europeans had done their best to destroy the Native Americans' strong belief. Now, when he wrote this to the New York Times, President Roosevelt at the time saw it a month later and decided to sign the Indian Reorganization Act into law. The Meriam Report opened the eyes of many. John Collier, the philosopher, shed a lot of light also on the Native American situation. The color of one's skin should not be determined how they are treated. One's culture should not be pushed or shoved to the side because it's different from another's. Let's try to appreciate each other and live in unity as God would have wanted it to be.